Okay. I am really grateful that I didn't find any more babies in that nesting material. That was a little bit more traumatic than I had really anticipated it being. Stuff like that doesn't usually bother me. Otherwise I wouldn't have animals. But I think no matter how much you can take off the animals or pets hat and put on the "this is meat and I have to treat it like I'm going to butcher it in 10 weeks" hat, it's still difficult to deal with baby animals dying. Okay, so it is now nighttime. Connor gave me a nice break from doing the bedtime routine with the kids to get away with my sister for the evening. I tried really hard not to let this morning ruin my whole day, but it kind of happened anyways. So to make myself feel just a little bit better, and especially before I try to breed the black doe in the next couple of days, I'm just gonna take this evening to build a nesting box. Yeah, and then hopefully this weekend, if it's not too terribly rainy, I'm gonna build a second one and an extra cage for the white rabbit that's a little bit bigger. So I have learned, unfortunately it took losing 5 babies to do that, but I'm new to this, and I've spoken to a lot of homesteaders just in the Facebook community group that I'm in, and I got a lot of encouragement and a lot of messages of not to beat yourself up too badly, because it's bound to happen. I don't know if you've heard that saying, where there's livestock, there's dead stock. That is a very true statement, and I knew that was true, but I just didn't think that I would feel so bad about it, and that it would happen, I feel like, due to my errors primarily. So I'm gonna go through those errors now for if anybody's curious. So first of all, her nesting box, the cardboard box that I put in there for her to build a nest in, was too big. It was too big, and it didn't have a top to it, so there was no way for her to build up a nest to be deep enough for the babies to be warm. I think that she has had a litter before, but I am not 100% sure. So I don't know if that was a contributing factor. From what I've heard, they aren't very good nest builders anyways the first time around. It takes them a couple of litters to really get the hang of it. So if she hasn't had a litter before, that could be a contributing factor. But I thought that the guy that gave her to me said that she had had a litter before. So I can't be sure of that. I know for sure that she shouldn't have had a cardboard box. I should have had a proper nesting box for her, something with more rigid sides that was smaller. I thought I was doing the right thing by giving her a bigger box, but that was not true. I needed to give her a smaller one so that she had walls to be able to build the hay up and the fur up to build a proper nest. The second thing that I did wrong was she is in a small cage. It's not too small for just living in. It's on the smaller side of normal. But for birthing in and having like growing babies out, it was for sure too small. And I knew that. I had planned on putting her into a bigger cage, but I thought that the breeding that I had tried to do last month wasn't successful. And that's why I didn't prepare for her to give birth, because I really thought that it wasn't. I've since learned that even if you think that it didn't work, you should still prepare for for it to happen, because breeding like rabbits is a term, and mostly that means like turnaround time, like how quickly you can have the next baby, but they do, yeah, breeding animals is a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be, and it's not as black and white as I thought it was going to be. So I thought that it had failed, and it did not. And so next time I breed her, I will write it down in my calendar, which I did do anyways. I will write it down in my calendar, and I will prepare. Like, she will be in a big enough cage. I will have a nesting box. I will have nesting material, all of the things on that day. And if it doesn't happen, then at least I was prepared. And so the other thing that I think was a contributing factor to her poor nest was I had put hay in there, and which I had seen other people just use hay, but the stuff that I gave her wasn't very long strands, and it was kind of flowery and dusty, so I don't think that it was like a fluffy enough material to for her to build it properly. And I think that because of her being in a smaller cage, whatever she was able to get into a nest got destroyed because of her trampling it, trying to move around her cage. And then when she did have her babies, I didn't see 4 of the babies were born in the nest. And one of them was way on the other side of the cage, half out of the cage. So I don't know if that was her first one, or what happened there, but she did try. She didn't eat any of the babies, and from what I could see, she didn't do anything to the babies. It looks like they just died from being too cold, and so we're gonna make sure that that doesn't happen again. Is the main thing. So hopefully you can learn from my mistakes, and that it won't happen to you. However, I have learned since today that it happens to pretty much everybody, which is not something that you want to hear when you're raising animals. Like, you don't want to hear that, oh yeah, most of the time, like, on their first litter, they kill the whole litter, or they don't build a good nest and all the babies die anyway, so, like, it was pretty likely to happen if this was her first litter. You don't want to hear that. But I guess it does happen. And I was told not to treat this like the end of the world. But it sucks. Wow. We're entering the season where all of the spiders come back to life. No one is looking forward to it. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is take the front of the box and use that as a measurement for where I need the sides to end. And on this side. And then this will be the top. Well, you can't see it. Hold on. Oop. Yeah. So this is the top plate. I'm going to put the top plate there, use that as a measurement. So I want to make an angle cut on the box. So I'm just going to use, I think this should be almost long enough. Make an angle cut on this so that the top plate, and then it angles down to the front, and that should give them like plenty of room to get in and out of the nest while still having like a little bit of cover on the top. And then it is 12 inches high, and from what I read on the internet, it only needs to be 10 inches high, so it is still a little bit big. But that's okay. I feel like my does are pretty big in comparison to like an average. So that should be fine. And then, okay, so I'm just gonna draw a line across here and then use the saw to cut that, and then we'll be able to screw it all together. So, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let's
trying to figure out how I can hold. Okay. That's pretty far away from my foot. of an angle.
Let's just see if we did good on measurements. Alright, oh, that's pretty good. I feel like that looks like a nesting box with the front like that. But we do need a back. This should be covered. So, kind of messed up on that one. Alright. So, we need a back that is this tall. Okay. So, that's gonna work. Now, we gotta find my pencil. Where did that go? That was behind me. Alright. One more cut, then we nail. It's not perfect, but it will do. All right. Sides, front, top. It's gonna work. It's gonna be great. All right, nesting box is built, and hopefully this means no more dead babies. So it is about 11.5 inches tall, 10 inches wide, and 17 inches long. So what's different about this box, hold on. Ugh. Okay, what's different about this box in comparison to the cardboard box that I had? One, it's wood, it's sturdy. It's not gonna fall apart. The second thing is that it's taller. It has a legitimate top, a back that's not gonna fall down, sides that aren't gonna fall down. Its width is shorter. So the box that I had in there was more like 14 inches across and 12 inches long. So this is shorter distance with the width and longer distance with the depth. So this is supposed to help. She can jump in here, build her nest in the back, and still have room to jump out without ruining the nest that she built, which is, I think, part of the problem last night was she didn't have the ability to do that. So we have this. I'm all ready. I feel good about this, and hopefully the next kindling will go well. So I'll keep you updated on breeding and due dates and when this will be put to use. But as far as tonight, this won't be used for at least another 35 days. I'm gonna be breeding the black doe here in a couple of days. and she will be the first one to use this. I'm going to make one exactly like this with the mesh bottom. I'm going to be making one exactly like this and a bigger cage for the white rabbit this weekend. So thanks for hanging in there with me and doing a little building project. If you're not subscribed already, I am going to be doing a 100 Days of Growing Food challenge. I will be starting that here on Mother's Day weekend. I hope to post every day on Instagram and at least once a week on YouTube. So you get to see things like baby rabbits, hopefully building projects like this and of grander scale, the next thing that I have aside from the rabbit projects that I've already talked about. I'm going to be building a chicken coop and I'm hoping to film that. Gardening, chickens, rabbits. I hope to, at the end of the growing season, have between 25 and 50% of our food for the year grown by me. So that is the goal for this year, and I'm hoping to be able to reach that throughout the growing season and share with you my progress on that. So subscribe and follow me on Instagram at ellie.porter.ia. I will see you guys next time.